What we have here is the Kenwood KX-54. The Kenwood KX-54 was a semi-entry-level deck from the mid-80s. Kenwood sold a bunch of these, thousands, probably way more than thousands. And how do I know this? Because I had hundreds of these going over my workbench back in the day. Why? Because they were bad? Not really, but they had one particular failure and it happened to all of them. The same transport was used in the KX-44, the KX-55W, the KX-64W. I'm doing this from the top of my head, so maybe I'm forgetting some. And even some of the NAD cassette decks, and probably other brands as well, have this same transport. I don't know why, but the other models never seem to have this particular problem that I think we're going to see with this one as well. Let's first open it up, check the belts. Those will probably be gone by now. So as per normal, we're first going to change the belts, clean them, and then hopefully I can show you how to solve this one particular problem from this one particular model cassette deck, and they all suffered from it, and if they haven't, they will. So if you find one of these and it doesn't operate, then I'm going to show you how to fix it. As I said, it's, you know, quite an entry-level deck. There's nothing fancy about it. It's all mechanical. If they work, and when they work, they will probably work for another 40 years. So if you find one cheap, I wouldn't pay too much money for it, you know, especially if you need to do the belts and things like that. Oh, forgot a screw. But it might be a fun, cheap project for people to take on. So, as you can see, you know, nothing fancy. Record play switch, the transport, spring between it. It's built up nice. Oh, and as we can also see, let me put this in the middle. I have no belts. You know, there should be a belt here and there should be a belt there. Those are gone. Seems somebody already went into here, clean it a little bit. That should make it easier. Oh, the third belt is gone as well. Luckily, I did buy some belts, so we have them because I anticipated changing them. So let's do that. Clean the transport a little bit, and we will take it from there. So, one screw at the top, two screw at the top, and as you notice, you know, I'm not even turning this on. There's no use turning it on because the belts are gone. Now, where's my tool? Here. And this is something you may want to invest in. You know, it is a flexible screwdriver. I always use it, to get to the lower screws, because if you cannot undo this one and undo this one, you have to take the front panel off or the back panel to reach the screws. This flexible screwdriver will bend so I can reach it. So let's do that. And these are screwdrivers. They're mainly used for hose clamps. You know, it's got a, what's that, 6.5 millimeter hole in there. I put a screw bit in here, and then you can flex it around. So let's do that. Come in from the back a little bit. Take one screw out. that one's gone. And then take the other screw out. Again, you know, the flexible screwdriver makes it so much easier. And before you try to remove the transport, you know, open the transport door, take the lid off, like so. It pushes right up. Let's put this to the side. And now, hopefully I haven't misspoken, you know, you can slide the transport out from the bottom without having to remove, you know, the back panel. It's a bit fiddly. Come on. Go up. And there you go. Here we have the transport. Take the head wires off. Take the mechanical wires off. And as you can see, no belts. It does look clean. So I think somebody went in here, started cleaning it. Oh, there's a little bit of dirt here, so we'll address that. Okay, so let me take the deck away. I have a little bit more space to work. Here we go. Zoom in a little bit. Okay. For this one, again, we're going to take the cassette holder off. So take the damper off, all of it, not just half. There we go. Put it together. We don't want to lose parts. I'm going to put that here so we don't lose it. It's a little spring. Put that there. Open the cassette door. Spring for the cassette door off. Okay, let's keep it all together. The other one has no spring, so that should be quite easy. Why isn't it focusing on? Come on. Where's the little screwdriver? Here we go. Take this side off. And take this side off. Let's put that there. Okay. One screw for the back plate. And there's one screw on the side. And now the back plate comes off. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen yet. That comes later. In order. Now what you are left with is this. So one belt goes from beneath the flywheel to this little wheel. Then we have a belt going from this wheel to the flywheel, and we have a belt from the motor to the flywheel. So let's figure out which belt those are. They're all packaged together, so it's a bit fiddly to figure that out. And since it all looked clean-ish, I will give it a good swipe. Okay. So here we have 4 belts. Okay. One of them is the counter belt, so let's figure out the others. This one, that's a bit tight. Do we have a longer one? That looks like a longer one. Okay, so I think this is for the idler pulley. Let's put that here. And this is also a thick one. I think that's the motor pulley. We can check that later. So idler, motor. And this is the counter belt, which is a long, thin one. But this is the one that probably goes underneath here. So take the counter belt off, take the flywheel off. I should, oh, where's my belt? My belt flew away. Oh, here it is. This one goes under the flywheel. Flywheel goes in here. And into this gear. Okay, that works. This one I said was for here. And then this is the counter belt, which is a long, thin one. And this one is for the motor. Let's put it on loose. Put the motor back on. Okay. Little spring. Hold it with your hand. Like so. Okay. I'm going to put one screw in, just to hold it all together. Like so. Then put the motor belt on. Okay, that fits as well. Now the counter belt is still loose here. We're going to address that one later. Let's first power this baby up. Let's get the deck. Because for this we're going to need some power. See if the deck, the transport runs. I'm not gonna do the head wires. We don't need them yet. Okay. Now let's press play. Oh, that doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? Oh, I have the gear in the wrong way. Can I do that? Probably. Okay. Now let's see what it's doing. Press play. No, no play. Is it running? Yeah. Here we go. As soon as I hit play, the head drops. Now, it will do all the other functions, but if you press play, let me show this to you in close-up. You know, press play and you see that the head and the pinch roller will drop, so it won't play the tape. I can even put a tape in. See what happens. No, nothing. And this is the reason why I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these decks in my hand. So let's dive into this, and I'm gonna warn you, this is gonna be a longer-ish video, but it will show you exactly how to solve this problem. So, zoom out a little bit. Let me put the transport away. Let me put the deck away. Oh, so I hope everybody's got coffee. I need coffee as well, because this is going to be a long one. I'm going to dive in there. Let me zoom in a little bit more so people can actually see what I'm doing. Is it focused? No. There we go. So, as I only put in one screw to take out, don't go there, go there. Take the motor belt off. Okay. Now let me see if I have a pen so we can put the, oh, here we go. Put the belts. So this is, oh, this is the counter belts, and this is going to be the motor belts, which is this one. This is going to be an idler belt. And then here we have the fourth one. So we're going to leave that on the flywheel. And now we're going to put it away. Here. Yeah. Okay. Now there are going to be a whole bunch of parts that we're going to be taking off. So you see all these little things on my mat, that's where we're going to put them. This one comes off with the spring. The gear comes off with the screw. Then here we have a little lever with a spring that comes off. It's got a little clip on the top, so you don't lose the clips. Those need to come off. Don't lose the spring. Comes off. The problem is here. This one should be operated with a spring, and it's not. So now the little solenoid comes off. Leave the spring attached. This one comes off. I'm going to put that to the side. And then these two come off. Again with a little cap on top. And the one beneath it. Because where we need to go is under this slider, right? So this whole slider assembly is basically 2 screws, but we want to keep it together. This slider assembly comes off as one, and we're going to put that down. Okay, now this one needs to be operated by a spring. Let me see if I can zoom in more. Yes, a little bit. Okay, now take this one off carefully. And below here you see the spring. You know, it's a little black spring. There we go. I'll just put it on a piece of paper for now. And what happened is the little black spring was held by a piece of plastic here. The piece of plastic breaks off and it no longer holds the spring. But what you can see is that when the piece of plastic breaks off, a little hole, you know, opens up. So what we're going to do, we're going to bend this spring so the little end here, I need a wider piece of paper so you can see it. You know, we're gonna, let me see if I can focus on the spring. We're gonna bend this end piece of the spring down so this little end piece falls into the hole that was broken off. This took us, when it happened, it took us months and months and months to figure out what was going on. Once we figured it out, we had the Japanese designers come to where we were. We showed them our solution. They went back and they issued what we later called, or then called, a service bulletin. And the service bulletin basically described what I'm showing you right now. So let me find my pliers. And I need to, you know, bend this. So I'm not sure you can see that on camera, but here's the little end. You take it with a piece of pliers and basically you bend it 90 degrees down, like so. Up. And what you will find is that when you put the spring back in its original position, now the end that you bend around will fit the hole that came free when the little plastic piece broke off. Come on, there we go. I hope, you know, you can see that that's where the hole is, and now the spring is in there. Now what we're going to do, and this is going to be a bit fiddly, so I'm going to need a very, very small screwdriver. And as always, you know, I didn't prepare for this, so let me find my little screwdriver or something. See where it is. Put my glasses back on. No. Okay. Let me put you on pause for 1 minute and we'll continue when I find my screwdriver. Okay, so I got a little watchmaker screwdriver. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take this piece that came out and it's supposed to go there, but the spring needs to be in this space. So you put this one on, and while it's in there you're going to hold the spring down with the screwdriver. You're going to put it in place. Oh, come on. And this takes a little bit of effort. Okay. And the copper piece also needs to be in there, like so. And it's not easy, you know, it's a bit fiddly. Let me see if I can do this from another direction, because I think my screwdriver is in the way. Okay, let's do it like this. Come on. Okay. Now push down, and then when you pull a screwdriver out, this one drops down. And we also have to make sure that later on this piece falls over here. So let's first get the screwdriver out. Make sure it fits. Okay. And now we carefully take this piece, and it may go wrong for a few times. Okay. Now if I hold this, you know, you see that the spring, I'm putting a lot of pressure on it, but you see that the spring now operates this lever again. So that's fiddly. Now, put this one back on. The strip with all the sliders. Can we let it go carefully? Yes. Put the sliders back on, and as soon as the sliders are back on, move a little bit, make sure everything is in place. We're home free. Yep. So as you can see now, this one operates again because we fixed the spring. Right? Okay. This one goes back. It lives here. This one lives on top of it. Put the little cap back on. Okay, so that's one cap, and it clicks right in. Put the little solenoid back. Put this solenoid screw back. Oh, this is a fiddly piece. Solenoid magnet with the spring. Okay. Spring lace there, and one more spring. Cap. And now we have most of it. Here we have the gear that came out of this position. If you look at the back, oh, that's a little bit dirty, so let's give this a little bit of a clean. A little bit clean grease all around. This one has an indentation that pushes here, so make sure you lift this piece up, then put the indentation of that gear down, and you're good to go. Screw it down. Flywheel with the belt goes into the flywheel. That turns. We marked the belt, so put the idler belt first. Put the motor belt on it. Don't forget this lever that goes onto the white gear with the spring. And make sure that if you look at the lever, you know, sometimes it goes on the inside, but it has to run on the outside so it can move freely. Spring in, put the motor back on. Don't forget to put now the spring into the correct position, because it needs to be on the motor plate and it needs to keep the lever down. Where did I put my screws there? Screw for the motor plate. Side screw for the motor. And now the belt for the motor, the main belt. Take it out. That's it. Oh, counter belt. Take the front plate off. Two screws. And I think we may have to clean the idler as well. This plate comes right off. And here's the counter belt. And that is dirty. So let's power it up and start cleaning. Put this aside for a minute. Okay, so let's power this baby up. Everything looks in order, belts are okay. And now, let's see what it does. Press play. Wait, doesn't, oh, it's on pause, okay. And now it runs. It doesn't come down anymore. Stays up. And now if I put a tape in it, I hope it won't eat my tape because we haven't cleaned it yet. It will probably just play. Yay! That works. I hear a little click, don't know what that is. Oh, I see something. Did I put a spring in the wrong direction? Probably here. As you can see, there's a little lever moving. That is most likely my fault because I put a spring on the wrong side. So take the spring, put it on the correct side, turn it back on, and now it's good. Now it doesn't click, now it moves and doesn't make an irritating noise. Okay. Let me put the deck aside a little bit, make a little bit of space for some cleaning. There's my Q-tips and my still all-purpose cleaner. Let's clean that first a little bit. Clean the idler rubber. The idler rubber sits right here and it drives the take-up reel. Oh, that's quite black. Dry it off. Let's feel it. Yeah, it's not dry yet, but it's got a good amount of torque already. bit more cleaning liquid. You want to make sure, or if you use isopropyl alcohol, it evaporates a lot faster than the thing I'm using, so I always dry it a little bit just to make sure it doesn't slip. Take all the residue off. Okay. Yep, a lot better. Auto stop works. Now let's clean the pinch roller. As you can see, it's quite brown. Oh, come on. So let's take some of the gunk off. This can take quite a bit of while to get a good clean. By the way, if you want to take the pinch roller off, these levers, the push buttons, they just slide off like so. Now you have a little bit more space to clean. Well, I think we're almost there. It already looks a lot better, but let's clean some more. Really want to get rid of a lot of that old brown stuff. Look at the Q-tip getting dirty. Yeah, that's not cleaned yet. I think we're there. Let me see how much junk comes off of this. No, I think we're almost there. Dry it up. Ooh, that looks a lot better. It's black again instead of brown. Now, let's give the head a little swipe. Like so. Dry it off with another Q-tip. Okay. The lever's back on. Forget them. Oh, come on. And they click right back on. Okay, so we cleaned the idler, we cleaned the pinch roller, we cleaned the head. Don't forget the new counterbelt, because if you do that you're going to take the whole transport back out again. Let's wrap it around here so we don't lose it. Now the cassette door, and if you look at the cassette door, there in these pins there are two little slots. What a lot of people make the mistake is mounting this cover in front of it, and then you can still close it, but now the cassette won't go in. So when you put it back in, make sure that the cover plate is in the slots here and here. Once you have those in, put the screws of the cover back on. Give the pinch roller one last dry on the side. Okay. The cassette door. I'm going to put the cassette door back on. On the sides there's a hole. Turn it to the other side. Fits in there. Now the damper. This spring and there should be a little spring. Where is my little spring? Under the paper, probably. Oh, in the mat, probably. There we go. Because the little spring holds the door closed. Okay. Here's the tape counterbelt. So let's put the mechanism back in. Okay, so let's put the transport back in. Take the power off so I don't electrocute myself. Don't forget about the counterbelt, right? Because that needs to go in there. The wires aside a little bit. And slide the transport back in. Like so. Counterbelt on. Get a screwdriver. Top. There's another one. Get my handy then flexible screwdriver for the bottom screws. maybe not so handy dandy. Let's see if we can put it in a little bit first and then take the flexible screwdriver to finish it off. Okay. Put it in there. And the fourth one. Get the wires out of the way so we can see a little bit better. Okay. Flexible screwdriver. I don't want to get my big fat hat in the camera, but I'm gonna have to have a look. There we go. Okay, so that's the transport back in. Opens up. Head wires. Control wires. Solenoid cable. And last, don't forget the bar from the record play switch, and we will check that out later. And it goes on the top hole like so. Let's see if we can press record. No. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's put the power on. Yep. As you can see, look at the rec play switch here. If I press record, cassette detection, you see it's being pulled out, so that works. Motor runs, belts run, no noises. Good. So I'm gonna set up everything to adjust the speed. We're gonna do that as well. This one has on the back of the motor a little hole. I put a very little screwdriver in, put the 3 kilohertz tape in, and adjust the speed with a frequency counter. So let me put up that and we'll adjust the speed. Okay, so I don't know who else can do this, but if you listen closely, you can hear the 3 kilohertz tape. So let's adjust it. I certainly can't do it, but let's give it a try. No, it's just okay. Enough fun. Let's hook it up to the frequency counter and see where we are at. I can, let you hear the frequency counter somewhere else. We're at 2800 Hertz now. So let me put the screwdriver in, find a little hole. 2900. 2330. Yeah, it's around 3 kilohertz. Let me stop the camera, reposition the camera, and I will show you. So, speed adjusted, azimuth adjusted. We got music here. And you know what? Kenwood KX-54 all serviced, all adjusted. If you liked this video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, because this one also will be given away to a person that leaves a comment. I'm going to put it back together again. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.